I have purchased 3 fifth wheels. Every fifth wheel has been used, and every fifth wheel has had a receiver put on it for double towing by the previous owner. And on all 3 fifth wheels, I find the same exact problem. If you're going to be double towing, you're going to be adding a lot of force to the back of your fifth wheel that it wasn't designed for if it wasn't factory equipped. So we have extra force here. Look at this structure here. We actually have a big hole in the structure here for the slide room. The slide room is a hole. So the wall, which is the structure, goes up here and across. And the problem I've always had has been right here behind the rear axle. From here to the back, it always bends right here. Never have had an issue with the hitch while double towing. That has never been the issue. Now here on the back corner of the wall, you can see some delamination or a change in angle of the wall. Now you could argue that this is caused by water damage, but I've had this seal off and there wasn't any water damage there. I think it's from the stress of pulling and the hitch or the trailer pushing down has caused this part of the structure to start to buckle. It hasn't failed, but there's definitely signs of stress. And if you're double towing, you need to look for this. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's 2 wrinkles of delam in the wall. Now that delamination could be caused by water, it could be caused by stress, and on my very first fifth wheel, I started getting wrinkles down the back from double towing. If you are double towing, you need to look for these things before you have an extreme disaster on your hands. The other place you want to look is right in front of your axles, and this is a great example of this. You can see a little bit here in the skirting. There's a small wrinkle right here. Now there's a shadow. Let's see if we can get rid of the shadow. But right there, you see that little wrinkle? Now, during manufacturing, they could have forced that skirting and put it on there uneven. But I have seen this again on all 3 fifth wheels that I've owned that have been used for double towing. Right in front of the axle, you get this flex in the body. A force back and a force forward. And it starts to pull the wall, move the wall. Here on the door, you can see I put in extra insulation over this winter, but it's actually pulling the wall apart, which makes the door not sit in there properly. And I can already see that happening here. In our Glendale Titanium, we really started bending the frame right behind the rear axle on the passenger side. But on this fifth wheel, there's a lot of bending going on the driver's side, and it's nearly identical on both trailers, except one was the passenger side, which was the Glendale Titanium. So where we're having issues with this one is on the driver's side, I think again, because the slide room is right here, and there's a lot less structure, so the frame member takes more of the stress. And when you walk inside of our RV, on the driver's side, the floor slopes off inside. Now, I have not personally double towed with this fifth wheel yet, but the previous owner did, and he double towed 2 jet skis. He had dual jet skis on a trailer, and he double towed with this fifth wheel. And when we purchased it, I already saw the damage. On the second fifth wheel we had, which is the Glendale Titanium, on the back here, there were also wrinkles forming in the wall, and it got progressively worse every time I towed. Now here we are on the driver's side, and there's the axles, and we've talked about behind the axles and in front of the axles. Now there's not much structure here, but I am showing signs of delam in this area as well. And this would be an area that takes extra stress while going down the road. You want to make sure your pin box is rated for the pull weight total of your fifth wheel and the second trailer. I've never seen a pin box that was underrated for a fifth wheel. They've all seemed to be adequate for double towing. So remember, look for stress points in front of your axle here, like we have here down in the bottom. We can see movement in this area. I can also see in the door jamb that the door is not sitting in the wall correctly. Look for frame issues that are starting right after your rear hanger on your axle. I've never bent where the axle is or in front of the hanger, but always from the hanger back. Look for some structure issues along this section of the wall, both driver and passenger side. We cracked the frame in the Glendale titanium in this area right here, and I don't think it was a double towing issue. I think it was a factory issue, but I think double towing led to it breaking even more. There was already a factory problem, but double towing just accelerated the problem.